Greetings, YouTube. I'm a theist. I'm going to say that right out of the gate. But I'm a theist that is deeply opposed to organized religion, that is deeply opposed to the patriarchy, is deeply opposed to toxic masculinity, is deeply opposed to social conservatism in general. I genuinely and sincerely think that social conservatism is the greatest danger that has ever been posed to our species, because it is the very foundation of every form of bigotry that has ever existed. All of it is based on social conservatism. Us versus them, the in-group and the out-group. Whether it's justified through religion or through atheism or through science, it doesn't matter. But one of the biggest tools in the arsenal of social conservatism is organized religion. It is probably the biggest motivator of people's hatred. And if you are a social conservative and you are going to be using your particular faith as your justification for your actions, I don't want you in politics. I don't want you elected to office because you are a danger. If you are going to base your philosophy on scripture, for example, as is very common in America, the Bible is an amazingly plastic term. It covers so many things. It is a book, well, it's a pretty hefty sized book. It's a book that's been used to justify so many vile concepts and is still being used, all the while ignoring all the things that, Jesus said about taking care of the poor and the sick and immigrants. Yeah, we ignore those things. Come out of the way. We want to make sure that caste capitalism is number one and that men are in charge, specifically white, straight, cisgender Christian men. And if anything has any chance of, chipping away at their power, they will rail against it and make sure the laws are written so that it is delayed for as long as possible. Because make no mistake, the demographics in America are changing. The folks that are trying to hold on to power are becoming a smaller and smaller group as each year passes. The Republican base is getting smaller. The folks that are currently in power are getting older and dying. There are fewer and fewer white people literally in America. It's one of the reasons that they want to get rid of so many of the laws that allow people to have access to abortions and birth control, because they're terrified that there won't be enough white babies for the future. You think I'm making this up? Go look it up. But our current Speaker of the House, the guy that just got elected, somebody asked him, if you want to know how my policies and how I'm going to, judge things in office, just read the Bible. That terrified me when I heard him say that. Because his past actions have shown that he is a screaming socially conservative bigot. He is a patriarchal monster espousing policies that would treat gay people and trans people as less than human, that would strip women of their autonomy, that would impose Christian national policies on this nation, who defended the January 6th riot, the insurrection, who supported the turnip didn't lose in 2020, the concept that he actually defended turnip in an impeachment hearing. He's a vile human being, but he looks pleasant and he speaks nicely. And people say, well, he's a nice guy, because he apparently comes off as a nice guy. He doesn't come off as a nice guy to me. He comes off as a fucking creep. He pushes every button in my brain that says danger. And I'm not quite sure how anybody can see him or listen to him and not get the same reaction, but they don't. They think he looks quiet and unassuming. And they're going to sit back and think he's reasonable as he's talking about stripping America of democracy. Because make no mistake, that's what is the at stake in our democratic nation. The Republicans have decided they can't keep power. They cannot control the nation the way they've always been able to in the past, because the demographics of the nation are changing. So rather than defend democracy and make sure that we have a robust, healthy society, they decided the best course of action is to destroy democracy and put themselves into control of an apartheid state, where there's a small minority of angry white cisgender straight men in charge of a nation that isn't anything like them. He's dangerous. And any politician that hops on board that says that the Bible is their guide is dangerous. I just read a little blurb. There's a judge that's trying to use scripture to justify not marrying people who are same sex. Yeah. There's a reason I wear this. There's a reason I'm public with it. There's a reason I wear a rainbow flag on my belt pouch, so everybody can see it everywhere I go. I'm not queer. I'm not a member of the LGBTQ community. But who I am is not a bigot. And I want people to know that I'm safe, that I'm not coming for them, that I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to strip them of their rights and their autonomy. I don't want to have them put into camps, which is the ultimate goal of the Republicans, to eradicate the existence of gay and trans people who have always existed and always will. So if you're a politician or a judge and you tell me that your policies are based on the Bible, I think you're a fucking danger, and at best you should be taken out of office. When I'm feeling charitable, the Bible has no place in Congress or the courtroom. Social conservatism has no place in Congress or the courtroom. Civil liberties and human rights have a place in Congress and a courtroom. Period. We are a secular nation, and we are healthier for it. And right now, there are a whole lot of Republicans that are trying to poison us, and they don't care who dies in the process.